On World News Tonight this Thursday, in Philadelphia, the fear and the fallout after yesterday's violence.
We are not happy with it. We are not satisfied with it. But we also understand that we cannot go around and tear up Philadelphia.
We'll take a closer look at high-speed pursuit. They can be so dangerous, there must be a better way.
Give me an ambulance down here.
The rising cost of electrical power and its devastating impact. Companies shutting down, jobs lost.
Greed was probably the biggest motivator in this problem.
And never too old to be stoked. Catch a wave at any age.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the power of the single picture. We knew it would be the case last night when we broadcast the chase and then the beating by the police in Philadelphia. Such is the power of a single image. Today, the police in Philadelphia, citizens all over the country, and the politicians in Washington are trying to understand, in some cases lay blame for this very visible outburst of violence. We begin with the national repercussions. Here's ABC's John Cochran.
The beating of Thomas Jones lasted less than a minute, but it was long enough for the federal government to launch an investigation into whether police violated his civil rights.
I've been briefed about it. The Justice Department is looking into it.
The U.S. Attorney in Philadelphia recommended an investigation as soon as he saw the pictures on television.
The issue that is involved in these kind of matters is whether an intentional use of excessive force was exercised by the police.
The Philadelphia incident prompted comparisons with the beating of Rodney King by Los Angeles police 9 years ago. The Philadelphia police commissioner says the pummeling of Jones was different because he put up far more resistance than King.
He takes off. They chase him twice. He then steals the police cruiser and goes another 20 blocks. They try to get him out of the car. There clearly is a tussle. He's resisting throughout. Now, does that justify the force? We won't know until we've interviewed every police officer.
In Philadelphia, some of the 20 or so officers were African American, unlike the Rodney King beating. The president of the local black clergy says excessive force was used, but says this was not a racial incident. The Congressional Black Caucus says maybe not, but it still has a national impact.
The reality is young African-American men all over this country felt that beating this morning.
Jones's nephew said his uncle was wounded and in no position to put up much resistance.
If he's bleeding and he got shot 5 times, that it don't take all them cops to be punching him to control him.
Tonight, the Clinton administration is walking a fine line, trying to show concern over the incident without inflaming public opinion in Philadelphia one way or the other. John Cochran, ABC News, the White House.
In one Philadelphia newspaper today, above a picture of what happened yesterday, the headline, "Welcome America." The Republican convention is in Philadelphia 2 weeks from next Monday, and this is tough on a city's image. ABC's Dan Harris reports from Philadelphia tonight.
On the streets of Philadelphia today, a diversity of opinion.
These cops crazy here. They might try anything. They just happen to be caught on TV this time.
I think that the police were justified in their actions, and I don't see it as police brutality or anything like that. I mean, they have a job to do and to protect citizens like myself, and I appreciate them using whatever force they need to use.
The city may be calm, but yesterday's police beating stirs up memories of violent, racially fueled incidents involving the Philadelphia police. The police bombing of a house occupied by a radical black group called MOVE, the tension between former police commissioner Frank Rizzo and the black community, and the police scandal, where officers arrested and robbed people in minority neighborhoods. As a result of police misconduct, a federal court appointed Stefan Presser of the ACLU to monitor the department.
If you're a young African American and you happen to step over the line, you're going to be treated infinitely more harshly, I think, than your Caucasian colleagues.
But here in the predominantly African American neighborhood where the incident occurred, there does not seem to be a sense that race was the major factor. In fact, we heard some rather nuanced views about the conduct of the local police. Almost everyone condemns the beating.
I thought it was cruel. That's a cruel act to do.
However, most agree that cops were motivated by anger, not racism. You don't think it's blatant racism?
Race. It don't got nothing to do with race.
But there's an important distinction. This may not be a case of racism, but many blacks say there are still plenty of racist cops.
I don't trust them and I don't like them.
And that may be the enduring problem. In a city where the police appear to be making fundamental changes, critics say this latest incident emphasizes the continuing divide between Philadelphia's police and its minority community. Dan Harris, ABC News, Philadelphia.
And later in the broadcast this evening, we're going to take a closer look at these high-speed chases which often lead to this sort of thing. Times are actually changing. In presidential politics today, well, it's just the way it is. 4 months after they fought a nasty and personal primary battle, former Senator Bill Bradley has taken his medicine and endorsed his party's nominee, Al Gore. ABC's Terry Moran reports from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
They walked down the political aisle a little stiffly, a reluctant couple still carefully keeping their distance. Al Gore and Bill Bradley came to a pretty lakeside park in downtown Green Bay and went through the motions.
I endorse Al Gore for President of the United States.
It could not have been easy for Bradley, who had accused Gore of lying about his record during the primaries and whose disdain for Gore was at times palpable.
Well, what you've seen is an elaborate, what I call, Gore dance.
Today, Bradley was careful to couch his endorsement as a matter of party unity rather than personal conviction.
Because I believe that Democrats have a better chance of guiding America to a brighter future than do Republicans, and it's not even close.
And Gore, who has always been more of a party loyalist than Bradley, responded in kind.
I treasure Bill Bradley's support. He is a good Democrat.
Vice President Gore and Senator Bradley campaigned together for less than 2 hours here today, and they ostentatiously avoided holding a joint press conference where unscripted questions might have exposed any lingering bitterness from their primary battle. And then they left, together. Sort of. Terry Moran, ABC News, with the Gore campaign in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
In Washington today, President Clinton announced and signed an historic trade agreement between the United States and Vietnam. 25 years after the U.S. lost the war, if Congress approves, trade between the countries will be easier and less expensive for both. When we come back, unemployed and blame it on the high price of electricity. And the new wave in retirement living.
You can't stop. Once you stop, then the arthritis moves in, whether it's in your brain or in your back.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors.
Let's be honest. There's really no such thing as a gracious winner. You might say things like nice game or shake your opponent's hand. But no matter how humble you are on the outside, deep down on the inside, you're saying, I'm better than you are. The Mitsubishi Galant, ranked the #1 family sedan under 20 grand by Car and Driver. Better than Accord or Camry. Boy, we just love saying that.
Discover Celebrex. For more information, ask your healthcare professional and call 1-888-CELEBREX.
This summer, in a special multimedia event, the Publishers Clearinghouse Prize Patrol will surprise someone with $1 million.
Oh, my goodness.
It'll all happen live on TV
I can't believe
and at PCH.com this August 24th.
Yes!
Watch your mail or go to PCH.com. Enter. And on August 24th, the winner could be you.
There is a widely publicized report today from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. It says that 800 people are killed every year when drivers run red lights, most often when they're on their way home from work. 200,000 people are also injured, and in places where cameras catch red light runners, there are 40% fewer cases of it. The price of electricity is skyrocketing in the West. In some parts of California, Washington, Oregon, and Montana, rates have climbed to 40 times normal levels in the past 2 weeks. In some cases, the prices are forcing businesses to close down. ABC's Bob Jamieson reports from Butte, Montana, where the second largest private employer recently laid off its entire workforce.
Montana Resources workers left the copper mining company this week wondering whether they would ever return. The deep copper pit was empty, the huge processing plant silent, except for a fan turning slowly in the summer breeze. Company President Ray Tillman said he never dreamed the price of electricity would shut him down.
It's the toughest thing I've ever had to do in my life because it's such a personal thing for all of us. We all made this company go, and it was a horrible thing to have to do.
Until late June, Montana Resources paid $35 a megawatt for electricity. Then the price jumped suddenly to $625 a megawatt, causing the company to lose $3 million a month. Across the West, a growing number of companies in energy-intensive industries like aluminum and paper as well as mining are being forced by the high cost of electricity to lay off workers or shut down completely. Power companies blame an early heat wave that hit when the supply of electricity was low. Low water levels because of drought had reduced the supply of hydroelectric power. At the same time, several generating plants were closed for maintenance. But power companies say there's an overriding problem. Demand for electricity is growing steadily, and no new generating plants are being built.
It's basic economics. When demand exceeds supply, then when the supply is short, people are going to end up paying more to get that commodity.
But that hardly satisfies Montana Resources workers. Stunned and angry at the sudden loss of their jobs, they blame the power companies.
Somebody playing with numbers.
Greed, you know, was probably the biggest motivator in this problem.
They'll go home to their big houses and nice cars, and I don't think they're too much worried about it. Well, we sure are.
Nobody knows where to go or what to do right now.
Prices should come down in the fall, and the mine could reopen in October. But that's not guaranteed, and the workers say for now the only thing they can rely on is their unemployment checks. Bob Jameson, ABC News, Butte, Montana.
On the subject of power, there's been another massive eruption on the sun. It is the season, apparently. NASA photographed it on Tuesday, and by today it has caused some scattered radio blackouts in various parts of the world. A solar flare is accompanied by a stream of disruptive energy, mostly electrified gas. And government scientists say the eruptions could cause other blackouts tomorrow. In California, teenage smoking fell 11% last year after the price of cigarettes went up by $1 a pack. California has also spent more than any other state on anti-smoking programs. The Centers for Disease Control said today that fewer teenage girls are getting pregnant. The teenage pregnancy rate dropped almost 8% between 1995 and 1997. 500,000 babies are still born every year to teenage mothers. On Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was up more than 5 points to close at 10,788. On the NASDAQ, stocks were up shade over 75 points. By the way, we anticipated that it was going to be expensive. In London today, a Scottish businessman bought a handbag belonging to former Prime Minister Thatcher at auction for $150,000, including a note from her. Mrs. Thatcher, so often referred to as the Iron Lady, was never without one. And in the Oxford English Dictionary now, the phrase to handbag means to attack verbally or to bully. And she certainly had the capacity. Next on the broadcast, putting an end to those high-speed chases. We're going to take a closer look.
Hey, Annie Matthews, what's on your plate today?
Today's going to be great, but really busy. 10, maybe 15 cuts.
Lunch is here, Annie.
I'll probably grab a quick bite when I can.
Annie, your 2 o'clock's here.
And maybe get heartburn. I used to think Tums if I'd already eaten. Not anymore.
You can take Pepcid AC whenever you need it. Pepcid AC controls heartburn before, during, or even after you eat.
Of course I can take you.
No matter what's on your plate, today should be heartburn-free with Pepcid AC.
While paramedic Dave McLeod checked the equipment before the day's first call, someone else was on Realtor.com helping Dave's family search for their first home. Later, as he was racing to his 6th call, someone else was at the bank reviewing Dave's mortgage. And while Dave was helping deliver a healthy set of twins who couldn't wait for the hospital, someone else was delivering his cashier's check to the title company. You've got a life. We let you live it. We're Realtors. Real estate is our life.
Now
Now your touch does more to protect your dog or cat from parasites, because today there's Revolution, a better choice in parasite protection. Revolution, better because in just one touch, a single application, it protects against both external parasites like fleas and the deadly internal parasite heartworm. Revolution. It's a medicine that protects against adult fleas and their eggs in just one touch. And unlike other topicals, Revolution is a medicine, not a pesticide. Go ahead, touch, and feel good about the best kind of protection. Revolution is for cats and dogs 6 weeks or older. In less than 1% of cats and dogs, digestive upset was noted. In approximately 1% of cats, temporary hair loss at application site was noted. Use with caution on sick, weak, or underweight animals. Revolution, the only topical that protects against external and internal parasites in just one touch. Ask your veterinarian for it. Revolution, never has one touch protected so much.
So as we said, we're going to take a closer look tonight at what often happens when police give chase. Between 1995 and 1997, more than half the police departments in the country altered their pursuit policies, trying to reduce the number of chases that police become involved in, because they knew the risks and they knew the danger. And now it is becoming something of a movement. Here's ABC's Deborah Amos.
It's dramatic.
Coming up on an intersection.
It's dangerous.
Whoa, there it is.
Hot pursuit is the riskiest police operation.
There you can see. Oh, a vehicle, PA!
There are more officers injured during the course of a year throughout the country from vehicle accidents than there are from gunshots.
So high risk for police and the public. Some 300 citizens killed a year.
Give me an ambulance down here.
That the policy of hot pursuit has been widely debated.
He's using the shoulder.
In Los Angeles, 62% of police car chases start with the pursuit of a traffic violator. Half of those chases ended in crashes last year.
Many innocent bystanders, civilians, can get injured. So hot pursuit should only be used if there's a case of a violent felon who must be apprehended before he commits another crime.
Many police departments have now adopted that rule. In New Jersey, Kansas, the Florida State Patrol, no pursuit except for a dangerous felon. In New York, all police chases are monitored at headquarters to stop what is known as caravanning, which we saw in Philadelphia yesterday.
The caravanning effect occurs when you have more than 3 vehicles in there. Sometimes that can be 10, 11, or 12 vehicles.
More is not better when the arrest is finally made.
Sometimes there's anger and rage, and all of that washes over them at the very end of this incident.
It looked that way yesterday in Philadelphia.
The adrenaline is pumping, there are lots of cops around, and the more cops on the scene, the more likely there is to be excessive force, and the more likely there is to be an arrest made.
Some police departments are banning high-speed chases altogether. Others are substituting technology, for example, putting video cameras in police cars to see that all the rules are kept. Helicopters can now keep the criminals in sight, and there are other methods, such as spikes, to stop a car before the chase begins. Well, not every time.
And if anything, he accelerated.
But the events in Philadelphia raise questions again. When is hot pursuit necessary?
He just spun out. He just crashed.
Deborah Amos, ABC News, New York.
And take this as a comment on the times we live in. High-speed chases recorded by local television cameras have become such popular viewing. There's a website offering an archive of chases that can be watched on the internet. The service also pages fans when there is a new chase available for viewing. When we come back, Peter leads the way.
What do you think?
Not what you expected? Try Glidden Idea Cards. Use them for color combinations, design tips, and inspiration. Mix in a little advice from the Home Depot, and soon you'll be paying with confidence. Glidden in the Home Depot. What a great idea.
Hungry for seafood? There's only one thing to do. Head to Red Lobster for lobster and shrimp. Just $12.99 right now at Red Lobster. So hurry in and get it before it's gone.
Hey,
Back on your feet after all that work you missed.
Yeah, good thing my supplemental insurance kicked in.
Supple what?
Aflac. Well, even the best health insurance doesn't give you cash to cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What does?
Aflac. Oh, sorry, buddy. What? Anyway, ask about it at work.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Ask about it what?
Aflac!
A heart attack could happen to you.
Heart attack? Won't happen to me.
Don't be too sure if you have high cholesterol.
But I exercise and eat right every day.
But if you still have high cholesterol, then you may be at risk. So talk to your doctor about Pravachol now.
Why Pravachol?
Because when used with diet and exercise, Pravachol not only lowers cholesterol, it's the only drug of its kind proven to help prevent both first and second heart attacks. Pravachol, a prescription drug, isn't for everyone, including people with liver problems or women who are pregnant, nursing, or may become pregnant. And because serious side effects can result, tell your doctor about any muscle pain or weakness you experience while on Pravachol. Your doctor may do blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor about any medicines you're taking.
Heart attack? I'm calling my doctor about Pravachol.
Ask your doctor or make the toll-free Pravachol now. Pravachol, the only drug of its kind proven to help prevent both first and second heart attacks.
Tomorrow, we're bringing the beach to you. Surf's up with the Beach Boys live in concert. Catch the wave on Good Morning America tomorrow.
There are several items from the International AIDS Conference in South Africa today. The U.S. Agency for International Development told the conference that by the end of the decade, 30 million children in developing countries will have only one parent at most. They expect the number of orphans created in this epidemic to be double that of the last 15 years. In Swaziland, just north of South Africa, the parliament is going to debate whether people with the HIV virus should face mandatory sterilization. They could still have sex, but there would be fewer orphans. And several African nations, angry at the high price of AIDS drugs, are meeting with generic drug companies today from Brazil and India. They have looser patent laws, and they can produce expensive AIDS drugs for much less. In India today, a mudslide triggered by days of monsoon rains crashed down on a Bombay slum. At least 50 people died, and probably many more. Rescuers do not believe that anyone beneath the mud could be alive. The American cyclist Lance Armstrong has extended his overall lead in the Tour de France. He finished second by just a few feet in the 12th stage today. It is considered the toughest in the race. In South Africa, the penguins are making it. Threatened by an oil spill last month, they were shipped 400 miles up the coast and put back in the sea, and they are swimming home while humans work on cleaning up the oil. 20,000 penguins. They are strong, but not fast. Thanks to tracking devices, you can follow them on the internet. That's Peter in the lead, followed by Percy and Pamela. When we come back, the surf's up, white foam, and very often white hair.
Sis, I snooped in your medicine cabinet. So? You switched to X-Lax.
Yeah, Correctol works with something artificial. X-Lax works with natural senna.
Very effectively, too.
You tried it.
What a find.
What a snoop.
Good morning, guaranteed. Last January, another dream came true. Now it could be your turn. August 24th, Publishers Clearinghouse will surprise a new millionaire. Enter by mail or at PCH.com. And the winner could be you. Your dream home. It's all yours. What a nightmare.
Honey, wake up. Yeah, the appraiser, remember?
With HUD's FHA Homebuyer Protection Plan, you get the right loan, a fair price, and a thorough appraisal. If any problems are found, you'll know about them before you close. 30 million Americans have trusted us to build their dreams. Call for information on HUD Homes and FHA loans. HUD and FHA are on your side.
Dad?
Uh-huh.
Why do you shave?
Well, because I don't want a beard.
Why do you wear a tie?
That's easy, because I have to.
Dad, why do you always eat Cheerios?
Because Daddy's cholesterol's kind of high.
And a study shows the whole grain oats in Cheerios can help lower cholesterol when part of a low-fat diet.
Why do you have high cholesterol?
Oh, because Daddy used to eat not such good things before he met Mommy.
Daddy?
The one and only Cheerios.
Tonight, this is no startup family. Meet the Smiths. In 17 years, they had 17 kids. What were they thinking? The mom's under siege. The dad's unemployed. Who's paying for all this? 2020 Downtown with a family on the edge tonight.
Who in the world do you think will make a difference in the new century? Email us with your pick at abcnews.com and help us choose. Then watch their story on World News Tonight.
I'm Paul Lemon. Coming up next on Channel 2 News at 6:30, small town worries about safety after that abduction in Dallas, and why a movie's 25th anniversary is taking the bite out of the good times for some beachgoers. It's next, Channel 2 News at 6:30.
So finally this evening, what will they do next? The seniors, we mean. We could have a correspondent covering the activities of the active elderly full-time these days. They simply will not sit still. Not that they're meant to. Our most recent story was about seniors going off to college. So it only seems suitable that now they should surf. And we do not mean the net. Here's ABC's Judy Muller.
Eve Fletcher has been surfing for more than 40 years, and at 73, she has no intention of slowing down.
I hope not. I'm going to go till I'm 80 or more, 90, maybe 90.
Eve and her 70-something pals meet every week to surf at San Onofre.
Thank you.
Of course, they made a few adjustments over the years. Safety helmets and webbed gloves, for example.
Now, I find it gives me about a 30% increase in my ability to catch waves. And if you can't catch them, you don't ride them.
And they do ride them, even those who can no longer stand up.
I had my knees replaced, and then I ended up with a quadruple heart bypass.
A new documentary called Surfing for Life features surfers like Eve Fletcher to provide inspiration for other seniors, most of whom will never touch a surfboard.
It's just a metaphor for the possibilities that you can be actively engaged, continuing to do what you love, and you can follow your bliss well into your 80s and 90s.
Like 93-year-old Doc Ball.
It keeps you stoked.
And 70-year-old Fred Van Dyke, a pioneer of big wave surfing.
The entire universe just melted together for that 1 second. And then threw over, I wiped out, bounced off the bottom, reality came.
The reality today, he's had to downsize, but he's definitely not down and out.
You can't stop. Once you stop, then the arthritis moves in, whether it's in your brain or in your back.
Encouraging words, not just for seniors, but for younger generations as well.
It makes you feel like you don't have to quit when you're like, 40 or 50. You can just keep on going.
You sure can. Just ask Eve Fletcher after a perfect day in the surf.
We were riding waves, and all of a sudden, several porpoise rode the waves with us. They rode right alongside us, and we were so excited.
After all, she adds, you're never too old to be stoked. Judy Muller, ABC News, San Onofre.
That is our report on World News Tonight. Later this evening on Nightline, the Philadelphia story. I'm Peter Jennings. Hope you have a good evening. Good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Channel 2 News at 6:30 is brought to you by G.I. Joe's. You're watching KATU Portland. Now, Channel 2 News.
A day after being told to leave, state labor inspectors returned looking for violations and hope to shut down illegal labor contractors in Marion County. Good evening.